Welcome back, everyone, as we explore things here out yonder in the Shire, where we are in Longcleave, but we are about to return to No Bottle so that we could search for Adamanda. But I think first we need to speak to the postman here so that we could deliver some mail, right?
Might I have a word with you?
If you're of a mind to help the quick post, I need to get a satchel of mail to No Bottle as soon as possible. If you follow the road south, you'll end up in No Bottle, sooner or later anyway. Postman grub can be found outside the quick post, just up to the hillside, off to the west side of the road. Keep your wits about you in No Bottle. There are a lot of folk there, and they're a love for gossip. And to their minds, it is vital that a busy postman hears every last bit of it. Fine folk, I'm sure, but a bit talkative for their taste. Oh, and before you go, I overheard a bounder from Hithershire making trouble at the arch of the other day. Some business about wanting to see Reeve Rosa without an invitation. Don't tell anyone I said this, but you ought to keep your distance from the Bounders if you don't recognize them. Anyway, the satchel's right over on the table. Deliver it to No Bottle as quickly as you can. So that means we need to avoid the Chief's Bounders, Lotho's Bounders, avoid Lotho's Bounders. What's the difference between Chief's Bounders and Lotho's Bounders, I wonder? And of course, as usual, avoid nosy hobbits. Now, we'll at least show the first attempt here, and I can only hope that I can do this in only one attempt. I notice going north is not a solution, considering that I noticed is that there was something nefarious in that direction. I'm pretty sure that, as usual, the ones we need to avoid are all marked with eyes. So I need to keep a lookout to make sure that there aren't any eyes in the area. And so far, so good. But I have a feeling we are going to have eyes all over the place as soon as I get to know a bottle. They put one, singular one, in the opposite direction on Longcleave, but I have a feeling that getting near the end, it's going to be dodge the eyes. That's what it's going to be. All right, anything around here? Going down, going down. Oh, maybe I should just stroll around and take in the countryscape. The water is. Oh, oops, a daisy. Ooh, just noticed that one. Who is that? That is Lotho's Bounder. Alright, so that's one of Lotho's Bounders over there. Making a nuisance. Being a nuisance. How am I going to get through here? Oops, oops. We've got another Lotho's Bounder. Lotho's keeping an eye on this place, isn't he? Well, let's get back down to the road since we don't want those because they've been rude to me, if I remember correctly. If for the few times I've run into them so far, fortunately without mailbox. Let's see. So we've got red dots also to worry about, but I think those are just shrews, as opposed to the hobbit-sized shrews that are the Lotho's Bounders. Now let's see. How about? Oops, oops, oops. Actually, which is the? Oh, I better. Oh, I have to cross that bridge, don't I? Most likely, yes. There's. I'm gonna have to cross the bridge in order to. Oh, they are guarding the bridge. How do you get around here? I mean, look, this place is surrounded. Lotho's Bounders, and a nosy hobbit have this place under siege. Hmm. How does one get who's where? All right, there is. All right, that's the Lotho Bounder right there. Can I get across here without dropping the mail sack? And I make it! Whew. That was close. Now that we managed that, but we've got to still be careful because I'm sure there could be one or two of them somewhere in town. How far is the way to the 140? Oh, right. Shh, shh. At least none of them were being particularly nosy. Is that a... It's a nosy hobbit. I didn't think that would be a good place for a Lotho Bounder. That's trying to push me right into the nosy hobbit. All right, now. And, oh, and I've got to be careful because I could run out of time if I keep on this too much. Oh, and around. Oopsie daisy. Up here. Up here. First attempt on a mail route before you know it is always tricky. A new delivery to Amada? I'll see to it. Oh well. Good. Deed bestowed was this. The quick post of Yonder Shire, and so here are all the routes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What do you say, Postman Grub? A hint of tampering, route no bottle to Longcleave, and route no bottle to Tiffield. Alright. I have a feeling I completely missed him when I was in here earlier, so let's do hint of tampering.
Might I speak with you a moment?
Oh, hello. If you have a complaint to file against the Quick Post, I do ask that you submit it in writing and deliver it to my assistant, Ebo. We are aware of a number of issues involving delayed or lost mail that some hobbits have reported over the past few weeks. Rest assured, the Quick Post will do its get to the bottom of this. With that out of the way, who are you? And how can I help you today? Oh, yes. Oh, pleased to meet you, Pine Seed. I am Waldo Grubb, and I am a postman going on 12 years. I'd say it's my calling, if you believe in such things. As for what's going on with the Quick Post, I wish I could tell you. Like I said, the mail's been turning up late or not at all, and the folk in Yonder Shire aren't too happy about it. Well, I was told to avoid certain people on the way getting up here. That's probably what's been delaying it. I don't know if the postmen have been trying something new or altering routes, but I don't think that's it. Well, I have a feeling the cause of your trouble might be what's causing us to alter our routes. Well, between you and me, I think someone's been tampering with the mail. If you're of a mind to help me sort this out, meet inside the Quick Post. All right, I'll go inside of the post office, where we have a hint of tampering. We are in the post office. We have the Quick Post is strewn with undelivered letters and parcels. All right.
Is there something I can do for you?
I must apologize for this mess, Pine Seed. You see, we're a bit backed up here in Bottle with letters and parcels due to be delivered in the Hithershire. Most folks down in Mickledelving, Hobbiton, and the like just call it the Shire, but it seems a bit odd to me, but I digress. We've had a few postmen come up from the Hithershire with small deliveries, but none of them are taking as much as they ought to deliver back to the rest of the Shire. It's almost like they're trying to slow down the whole thing. For goodness sake, we've had a parcel due from our stock sitting here over a month. Ebo received a delivery from the quick post of whey meat this morning, and as usual, it is very light. Unfortunately, after I inspected the letters and parcels, I only became more suspicious that someone's been deliberately tampering with the mail. Why don't you head up front and take a look at them, Pine Seed? I'm curious to know what you make of the condition. And I guess I will go and check things around here. Here is, what do we have? Oh, here is a package. What about this parcel? This parcel's knots appear to be hastily tied, and it bears a curious symbol of ink on the ink. What about this? This parcel is unsealed, and its lid sits loosely atop of it. Alright. This parcel? This parcel appears to have been marked with a curious symbol in ink. Curious symbols all over the place. How curious. This letter? It appears this envelope was unsealed and hastily resealed with some kind of sap. This letter? Although this letter shows no signs of tampering, it is wrinkled and stained by tea. And this one. It appears that this one was unsealed and resealed with the wax of a different color. Interesting.
Is there something I can do for you?
What do you think, Pine Seed? What did you make of those letters and parcels? Are my concerns ill-founded? Well, unless many hobbits have coincidentally forgotten to add postscripts until they, after sealing their letters, you must conclude that there are signs of tampering on all of the recent deliveries from No Bottle. Yes, I knew it!
Might I have a word with you?
I knew it, Pine Seed. If Postmaster Proudfoot has caught wind of this, he'd have already put a stop to it. After all the work he's put into maintaining the good reputation of the Quick Post, there's no chance that he'd let some sort of conspiracy drag it to the mud. I have to inform the postmaster at once. Postmaster Grubb takes out a blank piece of parchment and inks a quill, and he begins writing, periodically glancing at his ledger. Now, Pine Seed, I hope you don't mind, but I need to ask you to deliver this to Proudfoot in Micheldelving. In case something should happen to this letter, commit it to your memory that No Bottle has received 33 pieces of mail from the Shire in the past month. The postmaster will have his own records on hand, and I would urge you to compare them to any against our own. Now, there we go. I'm counting on you, Pine Seed. There is something afoot in the Shire. Right. Very well. Now, let's just... no, I don't need to go to the North Downs, that's for sure. So let's forget about that for the moment and head back out. Now let's see if we can find the missing diamond. Hello there.
How do you do?
Oh, Diamond? I have not seen her today, no. Well, they know who I'm talking about at least. I guess that's progress. That means she's been in this area before. How about we try here at the bridge? I know he's facing the wrong way, but perhaps he would have noticed if Diamond came by.
Good day.
Diamond? Oh yes, I saw her. She was hunting across the river, outside of town to the north. Alright, so she was in the area. Then let's head out this way. And let's see if we could find our missing gem. Here's the river. Now let's see if we could find where she is. Ah! Here's somebody. Hello there.
Good day.
Hey, watch your step. You nearly trampled all the tracks that I'm following. Oh yeah, I think somebody said something about acting like a ranger. She straightens and looks up at you. Well now, and just who might you be? Piney, you said? And my mother sent you with a letter for me? Well, give it here then.
Stay and have some tea.
Well, you bring fortuitous news, my new friend. The foolish dinner my mother insisted upon has been cancelled. I suppose we could thank good old Pip for whatever prank he's off pulling off. I am glad to know that he is keen on the machinations of our parents as myself, which is to say, not at all. This leaves me free for the rest of the day to get on with my grand plan. Say, you seem to be rather accomplished and useful. Perhaps you could aid me in some endeavor? Excellent, excellent. We need a few things to make this happen. One of which is a spool of rope from Anson. You will head over to Tiffield and collect that from Anson while I gather some of the other supplies. So I need to speak to Anson Roper. So I guess we could do that whenever we start doing things. What is Diamond up to? I have absolutely no idea. Let's see. And to the foolish dinner insisted upon is being cancelled. And she thinks that Pippin has something to do with whatever it is. And there are some machinations of the parents. I guess we have to figure out what this machinations are, or whatever Diamond's grand plan is also. Well, what do you have here to do? Well, I do need to speak to Postmaster Proudfoot. Maybe I should do that before I head over to a new village. Before we head over into Mickle Delving,
I'm pleased to be of service.
good. I needed a muster to Novato, which requires 10 of these things, so I might as well have that ready so that I can get back here quickly once because I believe this port is to Novato. Unfortunately, that's where my milestone is also, but I can amend that as soon as I get away from here. Yes, here. Yes, this is a mustard to no bottle. But I suppose if I want to get to the Shire, then to the Hither Shire, I should take the stable master. Hello, Postmaster. I have a letter from Postman Grubb.
It's been a foul day, it has.
You hand Postman Grubb's letter to Postmaster Proudfoot. He unseals it, begins reading, and after a long moment his eyes widen. Well, I don't like the sound of this at all. To my knowledge, the Quick Post has not altered our service to No Bottle or the Yonder Shire, for that matter, and we certainly would not make a habit of failing to make deliveries entirely. To his credit, Waldo has provided a detailed record of the comings and goings of the Quick Post in No Bottle. One of my associates, Onyx Nethercott, has taken to maintaining this ledger, and I assure you, our records are current and accurate. A careful comparison between Waldo's records and the ledger should tell us everything that we need to know. You'll find Onyx behind the counter inside the Quick Post. Tell her to bring out the ledger and see if anything is in accord. All right. We will speak to Onyx. Behind the counter, Onyx Nethercott prepares satchels for the Quick Post. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello. What brings you to the Quick Post today? Uh-huh. Master Proudfoot has asked to see the ledger comparing with Coast Grubs. Oh, dear me. Has some sort of mistake been made? Just a moment. Onyx leans down, produces a heavy ledger from under the counter, and examines its spine. After a moment, Onyx sits down on the counter with a muffled thud. Here you go, Pine Seed, and take all the time that you need. All right, let's see what we've got here. Let's read this. Carefully reviewing the ledger. Piece by. I just hope it doesn't port me to some weird place as a result of that, because of the sound I'm getting here. But alright. I was expecting to see the words pop out. According to the ledger, 58 letters and parcels were bound for the Yonder Shire this past month. 58? Didn't we only get 33 if I remember correctly? That sounds like 25 are missing?
Is there something I can do for you?
A discrepancy? I can't believe such a thing happened on my watch. Onyx pauses for a moment and composes herself. 58 pieces of mail sent out, but only 33 actually making it to the Yonder Shire? That just doesn't make any sense. And besides, no one's ever lost that much on their routes, not since ere the days of Ned Harfoot. Here, Pineseed, show the ledger to the postmaster and see what he makes of it. If there's trouble with the quick post, it's not happening here in Mickledelving. All right, I will see what Proudfoot has to say. I have brought back the ledger, sir.
It's been a foul day, it has.
Yes, I found a clear discrepancy between the records of Mickledelving and Nobottle. I have to thank Miss Nethercott for keeping such neat records. To be quite honest, it's never been a strength of mine. If it's all the same to you, I'd still like to examine it myself. Yes? Yes, it's as you said, a discrepancy of 25 pieces of mail.
Might I speak with you a moment?
If the evidence of tampering that Postman Grubb discovered wasn't bad enough, we now know for certain that someone is interfering with the quick post. However, if these would-be conspirators don't know that they've been found out, we can use that to our advantage. Firstly, we must safeguard the mail due to be delivered to Yondershire. After Onyx and the others sort it here in Mickledelving, it is sent to Waymeet for any final preparations and then carried along the usual route to Nobottle. Postman Twofoot oversees the quick post in Waymeet. You'll need to speak with him to ensure that any mail for Yondershire is returned to my care here in Mickledelving. Until this issue is sorted out, I don't want to take any chances. Next, I'd like to conduct a test of the route to Nobottle. Something is going wrong between Waymeet and Nobottle, and I want to know what it is. But I'd rather not risk someone's mail for the test. With a look of sudden inspiration of his face, Postmaster Proudfoot produces a piece of parchment from his pocket. He begins scrawling a lengthy letter, and after a long moment he seals the letter and crumples it gently in his hands. Here, Pineseed, I've written an exhaustive account of the weather over the course of the past week and a ranking of my favorite pies in the Shire. Perfectly innocent, I would think. I've not signed it, of course. I don't want them knowing that I've found them out if something goes awry. When you arrive in Waymeet, ask Postman Twofoot to provide you a satchel. You'll run the route to Nobottle yourself, and you meet with any resistance along the way, return to me at once. Hurry now. The quick post is depending on you. Alright, so I need to go to Waymeet and find out what is going on. Waymeet is bustling with visitors from outside the Shire, including a surly-looking ruffian. Well, that's not good. Not good at all. Ruffians. We've run into plenty of those already.
Hello.
Oh,
good day to you. May I help you with something? You tell Postman Twofoot that Postmaster Proudfoot is requested that the satchels of mail bound for the Yondershire be returned at once to the quick post in Mickledelving. You also inform that the processor has asked you to conduct a test of the route from Waymeet to Nobottle. Ah, I see. Is something amiss in that route in particular? For what it's worth, the satchels for Yondershire haven't been set out for delivery yet. My assistant Norbert was handling them today, and last I saw, he was still wandering about Waymeet. If I had to guess, he's probably left the satchels about to collect any last minute letters and parcels. I've told him time and time again that he should keep an eye out on the satchels, and he's always off looking for pipeweed fields or busy chatting with nosy folk. As for the postmaster's test, it'll take a little shuffling, but I think I can find an empty satchel around here for you. If you'd go collect those satchels, and tell Norbert to bring them to Mickle Delving without delay, I have a sorted out in no time. By the time you're back, okay. So I need to collect satchels of mail bound for Yonder Shire. Okay. Anyone could tamper with them and just leave them on a rock. Good grief. And where is the other one, I wonder? Oh, no, that's a mailbox. We want a satchel. Ah! Oh, goodness gracious. Look at this. This ruffian over here, parking himself next to the dwarves. I'm not too sure. I mean, that ruffian is enough to tell me who's likely to be tampering with mail or anything like that. Hello. And to bring the orders and satchel. What's this? The postmaster wants to see the mail for Yonder Shire? Yep. I'll see to it, but please don't tell Postmaster Twofoot that I was over here again. Alright. Well, that's interesting.
What do you need?
You found Norbert and sent him back to Mickle Delphine with the satchels? Very good, very good. Norbert's a good worker. He just wants the occasional kick to keep him on task. I do wish he'd take an interest in something besides pipeweed, though. It's as if he thinks a hobbit can only have one hobby. Appearing to realize that he has lost his own train of thought, Postmaster Twofoot gestures towards the table outside the Quick Post Waymeet. I've emptied one out of the satchel for you, like the postmaster asked. Feel free to use it. Alright, so now I need to hastily scrawl the letter into the empty satchel. Alright. Good.
Just a moment.
It's been a while since I've made the trip to Novato myself, but it's a nice route. It's a nice town, too. Truth be told, I spent more than a few nights and even a few mornings at the Fox and Fiddle. Spencer Twofoot finally appears to notice that you have finished preparing the satchel to Yondershire. Ah, and settled in? Good. Just one letter, I suppose. If it's just a test, that's for the best.
Please stay a moment.
An unthreadable needle. Oh! I was going to be in trouble getting through needle hole then. If Postmaster Proudfoot wants you to run the usual route to No Bottle, you'll have to follow the road north through the bog to Needle Hole, and then continue northwest to the Rush Shot Gate. Once you pass through the gate, you'll be on the road to No Bottle. Yeah, I think I used that in order to get there in the first place. Postmaster Grub is always about the quick post, and so he should be easy to spot. Alright, you've already met him. Yes, it's a bit of a journey, but it's a simple enough route. Oh, and keep an eye out for nosy hobbits, shall we say? And also Lotho Bounder, so he might not know about that. Oh, best of luck to you. I hope the postmaster is able to sort this out. So collect the filled satchel and only have to avoid nosy hobbits, not the other types of troubles that we can have. Alright, now, this then will be similar to the needle hole route that we had originally. Alright. Now this part should be fun. I have a feeling the trouble is going to come through needle hole, where The title says an unthreadable needle, and to me, that means we're going to have trouble going through there. But right now, onward. Here's needle hole. Now let's see if we can run into anything nasty along the way. And that's just Bounder Chub. We don't have to worry about him. Now I have to be careful coming along here. I haven't noticed any nosy hobbits yet, or any other obstacles, but I have a feeling the trouble is going to come just past Needle Hole, since obviously they don't want to ruin things for the regular traditional routes. So just the new route is going to be tampered with after you get past the Hither Shire. And we are getting pretty close to going from hither to yonder. We got one more bridge on that matter. Over here, because I think that there's going to be a checkpoint that's getting pretty close to. Let's see what he got here. Yep. We're going to be getting a message soon. Probably some troubles from ruffians or something like that. The Rushshot Gate. Oh, hold on. Oi! What's that you got there? I'll be needing to take a look at that. Bounder Dogberry.
Just a moment.
Haven't you heard, Postman? There's a new rules. By order of the Chief Sheriff, all mail is subject to inspection prior to delivery, especially to the Yonder Shire. Hand the satchel over, and I'll decide if it's worth the Chief's time. The Chief's time. Now, let's see here. With a hurrah, Bounder Dogberry slips the letter into the pocket and takes the satchel. Huh?
Just a moment.
Like I expected, the chief hasn't seen this one yet. No mark, no delivery. Just one letter, though. I might as well bring it to the chief, even if it's just a bunch of prattle. Bounder Dogberry furrows his brow and a sneer forms on the corner of his mouth. Don't you worry, I'll make sure the quick post gets their satchel back. Well, if you know what's good for you, you'll keep out of the chief's business. Get lost! Oh. I just wish that this character had a fish slap emote. You're not going to like this one bit.
Can't a body be left alone?
You're back sooner than I expected. What happened? What? Someone called the Chief Sheriff has been issuing new orders to the Bounders demanding inspection of the mail? Chief Sheriff? Why, there's no such a thing. I'd sooner call myself a Lord of the Post. There's a first sheriff, yes, but he's never been the sort to make those rules. In fact, he spends most of his time puttering around in the town hall, as far as I can tell. No, this is some upstart meddling with things that he knows nothing about. Dogberry, was it? I'll tell the mayor what that bounder said to you and have him set things right for the quick post. All right. Well, let's see what the mayor has to say about that.
Oh, good day.
Yes? You inform Mayor Wilfoot the postmaster Proudfoot's concerns and the so-called chief sheriff interfering with the quick post. You tell him that the postmaster has insisted that the service to Yonder Shire be restored and free of all unlawful inspections. Why, there is no such thing as a first chief sheriff. Ah, the postmaster said that too, did he? I wonder if this has anything to do with that upstart in Hobbiton. A terrible nuisance, that one. If you would allow me a moment to think, I believe I can resolve this matter to the satisfaction of the postmaster. Really?
Could I take a moment of your time?
Yes, I have made up my mind, Pine Seed. I'd like you to inform Postmaster Proudfoot that I am officially authorizing him to alter the route to Nobottle. It is my recommendation that the new route ought to pass through Little Delving into the Yonder Shire, even though I expect the folk dwelling there will give him an earful for it. Nevertheless, it's like my grandfather used to say, if trouble is standing in your way, better walk around it. As for the so-called chief sheriff, let him hope that this is the last we hear of him. I certainly do. Alright, well, I had a feeling that somehow Little Delving will come into this.
It's been a foul day, it has.
What did the mayor have to say? Well, he's authorized you to change the route. Well, it isn't perfect, but if it means that the mail will reach Yonder Shire, I'll have to do it. However, unless the mayor is prepared to act against the upstart, I fear it will not be enough. For my part, I'll be keeping as much closer eye on the goings on of the Quick Post. As you know, the Quick Post has many officers across the Shire who can see what this chief hasn't already found useful friends in all sorts of them. That is a matter for me to resolve, Pine Seed. As for you, I would have you oversee the first run of the new route to Nobottle. I believe that Onyx will be preparing satchels inside the Quick Post, so you just speak with her when you are ready to set out. Well, how will this new route come along? We have to find that out in the next episodes as we go back yonder in the Shire.